All right, so we're going to see the procedure for constructing a grouped frequency distribution table. This is for quantitative data. Okay, so these are the steps that you need to follow, and I'll show you an example. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention with quantitative data, you've got discrete data. Okay, discrete data. These are whole numbers. Okay, whole numbers. Okay, the 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 25, those kind of numbers. Then you've got continuous data. These have decimals. Have decimal points. Right? Yes. So I'm going to show you how to make a distribution table with both discrete and continuous data. Okay. Discrete data is number of things like number of people, number of cars, number of trees. Okay, you never have decimals with those. Okay, number of items or number of let's say shoes. All right, you never have decimals with that. But with continuous data, this is like weight, height, test marks. Okay, there you're going to have decimal points. Okay, so the first step always is to determine the range of the data. This is by getting the highest value in the data minus the smallest value. All right. After getting the range, then you need to determine the class intervals. Okay. Class intervals, it's up to you to choose. Okay. You can say I need 5 class intervals, I need 10, 7. This is up to you, the class intervals. Okay. It's up to you to choose. Okay. Then after you've chosen the class intervals, then you can approximate the class width. Okay. Class width is just the range divided by the number of classes. Here, step 2, this number of classes here. Okay. Then step 4, you determine the lower limit of the class, right, of the first class, and then from there, you can now construct the frequency table. So as we go, I'll be showing you what all these words mean. Okay, so let's say, for example, we have this data here. Okay, suppose we have the following number of items sold by different shops. Okay, so these items can be goods. Okay, maybe let's say pens. Okay, so as you can see, we have this. These are the number of items. So we can see this is discrete data. There are no decimal points here. Okay, so we need to make a frequency distribution table with these data points. So the first thing, step 1, we need to pick the range. So you look at your data and find what is my highest value here. The highest value is 34. Okay. What is the smallest value? 11. So you say, okay, my range, okay, maximum value 34, minimum value 11. So say 34 minus 11, that is 23. Okay, our range is 23. That is the first step. Step 2, determine the number of class intervals. Okay, or basically how many classes do you want to have? So we're going to choose 5 classes for this one. Okay, step 2 is up to you. You can choose if you want 8 classes, 9 classes, 10 classes. It's all up to you. So in this case, we're using 5 classes. Okay. Now we need to approximate the class width. Colleagues, the class width is how wide the class is. Okay, so remember the formula we used? Class width, it is the range over the number of classes. Okay, so the range is 23. We have five classes. So we get 23 divided by 5, 4.6. So we just round it off to the nearest whole number. Okay, so our class width is going to be 5. Okay, yes. After we have done that, we now go to step 4, where you say determine the lower limit of our classes. Okay, so we look at our numbers here. Okay, we see, okay, the lowest number is 10. So we can put classes like from 11 to 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 11 to 15, 15 to whatever. We can put it like that. But usually in statistics, usually start with like tens, ones, okay? So we just say that, okay, since our lowest number is 11, so the lowest limit of the class, will put the lowest limit as 10. This is what I mean, okay? We'll put the lowest limit as 10. As you can see here, 10. All right. Our class width is 5. So you count 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. With your fingers, okay, colleagues? Like this. Since our class width is 5, our class width is 5, so our lower limit is 10. So you say 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Have you seen? 5. Okay? Since our class width is 5. Okay? So we say 10 to 14, then 15 to 19. Okay? Then 20 to 24. All right? Then 25 to 29. All right? And how to check the accuracy of your class limit? Just subtract like this. You say 15 minus 10, that gives you 15 minus 10, that gives you 5. 19 minus 14, that gives you 5. So our class widths are okay. Okay? Yes. Any questions so far? Okay. So we said we're only having 5 classes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 classes. So once we've determined the number of classes, then we can now construct the frequency table. Let me just get the numbers here. Yes. All right. Yeah. So now this is our frequency table here. You need to have your tally marks. Okay. Although in the real world, these tally marks need them anymore. Okay. It's just the frequency that you are most interested in. Yes. Admit. Yes. So we look at, okay, from 10 to 14, how many values do we have? So we have 11, 1, 12, 2, 13, 3, 14, 4. Okay, from 10 to 14, we have four numbers. Okay. So you tally marks, you put 4 sticks, then you put frequency over 4. All right. Then from 15 to 19, how many numbers do we have? We have 15, 1, 16, 2, 17, 3, 18, 4, 19, 5. Okay, we have 5 numbers. So you put 5 sticks, right? Put 4 sticks, then cross it. That means 5. So we have a frequency of 5. Okay. Then from 20 to 24, how many numbers do we have? We have 21, 21, 2, 22, 3, 24, 4. We have 4 numbers. Okay. Yes. Then 25 to 29, how many numbers? 25, 1, 27, 2, 29, 3. We have 3 numbers. Okay. Then from 30 to 34, we have 31, 33, and 34. So we have 3 numbers. So our frequency is 4. 3, actually. 3 numbers. Yes. Okay. Yes. So if we add our total frequencies, we have a total of 19 numbers. Okay, 19 numbers. All right. And also in the class intervals, have you seen like here 15 to 19? The lower class limit is 15. Upper class limit 19. Class width is 5. Don't do 19 minus 4 and say that the class width is 4. No. You count 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 5 fingers. So the class width is 5. Any questions, colleagues, before we go to where we now have continuous data? Okay, now let's say the data is heights of people. So colleagues, remember heights of people can also have, what do we call this? Decimals, okay? Someone's height might be 151.2, 154.7, 160.4, all right? So this is where now we're going to include class boundaries, okay? Unlike class limits, class boundaries join all the classes together so that there are no gaps. Okay, especially if you want to make a bar graph. These class boundaries, because remember, a bar graph, the bars are next to each other, there's no space. So, what the class boundaries do, colleagues, is they connect the classes together. Okay, and I'm going to show you how they connect the classes together. So the process is still the same first. Step number 1, we need to find our range. We see what is our lowest value, 151. What is our highest value, 183. So we say our range, 183 minus 151, our range is 32. Okay. Next, we say how many class intervals do we want? Or the number, how many classes do we want? Okay. The number of classes. We choose, we want 5 classes. Okay, remember step 2, you can choose any number that you are comfortable with. So we say we choose 5 classes. Okay. Step 3, class width. How wide is the class going to be? Okay, remember class width is the range over the number of class intervals, or the number of classes basically. Our range is 32. We chose 5 classes. So we get 6.4. So it's always advised to round up, colleagues, all right? So we'll use a class width of 7, okay? Not 6, but we'll use 7. It's advised to round up, okay? So now we've got a class width of 7. We now need to say, okay, what is the lower limit of our first class? Okay, so we say our smallest value is 151. So our lower limit, we can say 150. Okay, if you want, you still use 151 as a lower limit, but to make life easy, okay, just put it like this. All right, 150. Okay, that is our lower limit. So now we can first produce our class limits. Okay, so our lower limit is 150, 150 to 156. If you count 150, 151, 152, 153, 154, 155, 156, you'll see 7 numbers on your fingers. You lift up 7 fingers for that. Okay. So don't say 150 to 157. No, colleagues. All right. Yes. So as you can see here, 150 to 156, 157 to 163, 164 to 170. And to check your accuracy, just subtract. Like for here, we can say 157 minus 150, that is 7. 163 minus 156, that is 7. Okay. Now, colleagues, we're not yet done because we're dealing with continuous data. Okay. There is a gap between 156 and 157. That gap is, for example, if we had 156.1, where do we put it? 156.2, where do we put it? Okay. So this is where now the class boundaries are going to come in so that we join all these classes so there are no gaps. Okay. Because currently there are gaps. Okay. Like from 163 to 164. What if you get 163.5, 163.3? You won't know where to put it. Okay. So this is how you get your class boundaries. All right. Yes. So you can look at it like this. You say, okay, you look at 2 classes first. You look at the first class and the second class. Okay. And you say, okay, there's a gap between 156 and 157. So what you do is this. You're going to say 157 minus 156. You're going to get 1. Okay. So 157 minus 156. This gives you 1. Then whatever value you get, divide it by 2. So you say 1 divided by 2. Okay. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Okay, colleagues? 0.5. Okay, so this is now what we're going to do. Okay, yes, okay. The left, since we got 0.5, the numbers on the left, this 150, this 157, this 164, this 171, and this 178. The numbers on the left, you subtract by 0.5. Okay. Numbers on the left, subtract by 10. Numbers on the left, subtract by minus 0.5. Then the numbers on the right, add by 0.5. Okay, so you say 150 minus 0.5, 149.5. 157 minus 0.5, 156.5. 164 minus 0.5, 163.5. 171 minus 0.5, 170.5. Okay. 178 minus 0.5, 177.5. Okay, the numbers on the left subtract by 0.5. Then the numbers on the right add 0.5. Okay. 156 plus 0.5. Let's see. 156.5. 163 plus 0.5, 163.5. Have you seen, colleagues? From the first class, we have 156.5, and then also here we have 156.5. The classes are now touching each other. There are no gaps. Okay? 170 plus 0.5, 170.5. 177 plus 0.5, 177.5. 184 plus 0.5, 184.5. Okay, colleagues? Yes, that's how you make the class boundaries so that the classes are connected to each other. There are no gaps, okay? Because you're dealing with continuous data, okay? Yes, remember the first thing, just look at two classes, look at the upper limit for one class and the lower limit for the other class, subtract them, then divide by 2. That's how we got these 0.5s here. So now, let me get the numbers here. Yes, so you see, okay, from 149.5 to 156.5, okay, you've got 151 here, 154, 156. So you put tally marks 3. Okay. Then from 156.5 to 163.5, okay, you've got 158, 160, 161, 163. Okay. We've got 4. All right. Yes, colleagues. And that's how you do it. Okay. You just find which numbers fall in the groups, in the classes, get the tallies, and then make the frequency table. Yes. Any questions, colleagues?